Alrighty, so let's get started. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, I hope this will be entertaining for you and informative as well. All right, so let's get started. Thanks, Dirk. That's okay. You can type, text, and very welcome. Thanks so much. All right, so here's the Go Horse view of the last SUGCON. And for those who don't know, can you hear me? Please thumbs up if you can hear me. Thank you. All right. For those who don't know what a Sitecore Usergroup conference is actually one of the most important Sitecore yearly events. It is going to be big every year, normally more technical, featuring keynote speakers, technical sessions, and lots of network opportunity. Yeah, you bet. And it's organized by the Sitecore community, which is important. It's not only sponsored by Sitecore, but the community has a big word on what's going on for developers, partners, and customers to understand more about the platform and share knowledge. Uh, and obviously attracts attendees from around the world. And there are a couple of us right there, myself and Jose. You can, of course, have a lot of opportunities to learn what Sitecore new features are, what are the best practices, what are the strategies, the company strategies for the upcoming year and years. So that's amazing opportunity to get together and, of course, share the experience that you have. If you are curious about the past of Sitecore User Group Conference, please check my channel, YouTube channel. There's a Sitecore Hugs number 3 speaking, telling a lot of stories about the SUGCON with, 3 people that I have interviewed that had a lot of funny stories to tell about past SUGCONs, always in Europe most of the time. And of course, an amazing opportunity to collect swags and stickers. Here's my brand new notebook. As you can see, in a few months, I got it totally overloaded with Sitecore SUGCON and Symposium stickers. But what is the Go Horse? All right, the Go Horse started as a Sitecore Hackathon team. We are veterans in the event. We participated 7 times. We won the hackathon twice, which is yes a big proud. But our biggest proud is actually being the team that always delivers. Because if you don't know, only 30% of the groups every year that applies to a hackathon will deliver something that is considered valid. We always deliver for 7 years in a row, which is our biggest proud. So a group of highly skilled techie people now, we became bigger than that. We are here now more than a hackathon to, highlight what we think and think about, have brainstorms about what to do with new technologies, creative ways to use technology for the good of people. And we love to solve human problems. That's why we are here doing this, and for free most of the time, of course. We regularly brainstorm what's going on and ways to use new technologies. And yes, we are also playing with ChatGPT just like everybody else. The venue, it's Malaga, Spain. Honestly, amazing place. From the places that I've been in Sucons, this was totally the best. A place near the ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, and Meliá Costa do Sol was the hotel, amazing venue. This that is seen here is the rooftop. So the rooftop is amazing place to meet and greet and have a couple drinks or more. But let's start speaking about our conclusions. I know normally you do that in the end, but I have decided to make in the beginning. because it's something everybody notice, and Dirk is here to tell myself and Jose how things are totally changing, right? And you can tell that things are changing in this ecosystem by the agenda to start with. Only sessions related to composability or moving to composable were accepted this year. Nothing from the old stack, monolithical stack. From the audience size, I'm not sure. I don't have a strong opinion about why, but this year we got the smallest audience from the past SUGCONs that I've been participating. I'm not sure if this has to do with the new recently products that were acquired by Sitecore, but we don't know yet. We're still unsure about how to use it and understanding it itself, or if it has to do with something else. I'm not sure. The attendees, the corridor chats were all about, oh, my client is now in this monolithical still, but they are all anxious to move on and things like that. From the takeaways, every single speech, every single keynote were the takeaways that you take are all about moving to the composability stack. All right. So this is us in the day one, March 24. I will, of course, not spend a long time, going through all this. But we started one of the interesting things with SUGCONs and symposiums is that you have a pre-agenda that you can go through. It's optional. And myself and Jose, we decided to face the challenge of getting the Content Hub exam preparation, which was basically a course, a very quick and small course, lean course about things you have to know to have a chance in the Content Hub exam. It was interesting. Of course, we cannot share anything we learned. After that, we got the opening discussion with Steve Tikakis, the CEO of Sitecore, and Dave O'Flanagan, CPO. It was a very insightful keynote, and the highlights that you have are seen in this slide. So Steve highlighted that the ChatGPT stuff is not going to, pass by on the Sitecore attentions because they are working to integrate it. And yesterday, we got this announcement from Sitecore that they are introducing OpenAI integration functionality with composability with the composable products. Speaking about the Content Hub, Dirk is going to run the preparation tomorrow, and Jose Neto already succeeded on getting his certificate. Felipe Martins, who is in this call, also got the certificate. So thanks, guys. You guys are going amazing. I'm still owning my one. Coming soon. Sitecore has grown what we already know, 20% in the past few years, which is amazing. Here, an important thing, Sitecore has highlighted the desire to lead by innovation and go and expand the number of developers in the worldwide from 40,000 to 100,000. Mr. Jose Neto, come here, join me, and tell me your impressions about this statement here.
Hello, guys. Good to see you again, Rodrigo, and being participating in the SUG-BR once again. So I think it's like a interesting goal to expand the number of developers. However, I think it's important to keep that in mind is that the tech stack will totally change, right? So most of the Sitecore developers have been developing using C#, and there we saw a lot of things with Vercel and Next.js. So I think most of the people in the near future will eventually be developing Sitecore. However, probably using Next.js, not just C#. Of course, C# will still be part of the development. Most of the developers are. developers in C Sharp. Still, they are connected. You can use the ASP.NET Render SDK, and it is a possibility as well. But having Vercel as one of the sponsors of the event, also having a booth there, and in the last symposium, Vercel was there as well. So it seems that this partnership between Sitecore and Vercel is really growing, and it seems that it is the direction, right? So probably most of Sitecore developers will need to, I won't say retrain totally, but extend their capabilities for this
Upgrade
near
your
future.
capabilities.
Yeah, and also, well, the composable word is there, the XP word is here to stay, and we also have new tools inside Core Word to work with. So we are currently already, me particularly with Content Hub, I've been working this a lot last year, and it is pretty much a really cool tool, and I like to work with this tool. And with time, I believe that most of people inside our community will be working with all those tools in the DXP. And yeah, I hope everyone can be part of this change, and excited to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, the only certainty is that things are going to change. And they are saying there's still a place for self-hosting DXP, the monolith as we know, and those are specific situations where geographic restrictions or privacy regulations will require those bigger controls that a SaaS product cannot offer. Um, Also, they also acknowledge something that we all know that the documentation, the market information on migration, the features of SaaS products, they are not good enough, and they are working to improve. They are also slowing down the announcements of new products absolutely because they have enough in their stack now, and moving now focusing to help customers understand the new products and understand what can be done with them, explain how to migrate to them, and things like that. And in our like as a partner, you have to understand that as you were telling and talking about moving to DXP platform, you should always consider the total cost of ownership. If you do that and include the costs like hosting costs and things like that, you see that the cost will be around the same or slightly cheaper. I never did the calculations to be honest. Sitecore is working on adding forms in XMCloud. Yeah, Dirk, that's for you, man. Dirk is our friend who last year made a grateful presentation about Sitecore forms and accessibility. And yeah, we are all happy that this module is, which is amazing module, is going to come back to the XM Cloud finally. Should never be separate from the beginning. And last but not least, they are looking to simplify JSS. That's a common feedback that front-end developers are giving, that it's complex and not something that they want to learn, the JSS. It's not simple, it's complex. And I think this is one of the roadblocks they have to remove if they really want to grow that development base headcount from 40,000 to 100,000. That's something they need to improve. All right. Speaking about, I will not going through a lot of details, but speaking about what we saw, interesting sessions that we have been through, this one was amazing one. If you are wondering the differences between Content Hub 1 and XM Cloud, and why Sitecore has put together in the market a couple products that apparently are overlapping, here is the information you need to know to understand they are not. The whole session went making comparisons from the marketing side, as you can see in this slide, and sorry for the low quality of some pictures. It was real pictures taken in the moment, in the heat of the moment. So you see, there's no personalization, nothing out of the box for Content Hub One. Content Hub One is totally a more leaner, simpler content CMS, for marketers. Unstructured content model. There's no what you see, what you get. Very limited search functionalities. Page layout is fully defined by developers. Nothing you can do from the content edition side. And also from the license costs and things like that. But also they made comparisons technically. As you can see, there's no SDK. There's only, you can use any CSS framework. There's no GraphQL. Actually, there is GraphQL. Any language that can make a GraphQL can connect to it, but there's no SDK to help you doing that. And a lot of things that, as you can see, sometimes one is ahead, sometimes the other looks to be better. But in the end, to sum up, they are not the same stuff. That's the biggest message. They are totally different products for different audiences, for different needs. After that, our great friends Nicole Monteiro and Jacqueline Baxter from Sitecore provided an amazing presentation about the community membership mentorship program and the Sitecore MVPs. Things you have to do to make a strong application. Things you have to do as MVP aspirant. Things you should never do and never ignore as an aspirant. How the applications are evaluated. There was some changes happened recently, and what they took really into consideration. What is the mentorship program? For those who don't know, the mentorship program is an opportunity that MVP aspirants have to have a mentor, an MVP, an experienced MVP, as a mentor to help gain experience, to help provide making better presentations and better contributions. It was the second year. A lot of more than 160 members participated, which is good. After that session, I checked my cell phone, and they have this special software, and the agenda has changed. The agenda has changed, and a new appearance has jumped in the agenda, and see, my name was there. That's crazy. I said I didn't pass as a speaker. I don't know what's happening. Of course, Bug Busters. That's my band with Sebastian Winter, and it's a totally parody band, and we always put together famous songs, but with different lyrics for the symposium, for the Sitecore community. And this year we sung a medley. I'll play a bit of it. Yeah, it was a good time, and reality was too good for us. For those who don't know, the Go Horse participated in this hackathon. We were full of hope to be selected. It was not this time, but that's okay. We love to participate. The best enhancement to XMCloud, our category, was won by the team Not Implemented Exception from Denmark. The category best enhancement to headless SXA was won won by the team from Ukraine, e-rendering the ring. Yeah, I think that's how they call themselves. Best migration module was won by the SOAR with Sitecore from the US. And they too was there. I think you noticed that purposely we jumped at everything that happened before day one two and after the hackathon announcements because it was top secret. All right. Next day we got this amazing presentation, I think, from Kiran Patil and Sheetal Jain. Upgrade path for Monolitic to Composable. As you can see, again, the migration vibes, contexts are here. Um, and there, start with a quote from Charles Darwin. It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adapted to change. So as you can see, I think it's pretty much clear here. The session was all fully dedicated to people who were Sitecore dinosaurs to move to the new paradigm. It was amazing to see side by side the things that you have to learn: Jamstack, TypeScript, React, Next.js, and others, and everything with links of documentations you can go through and learn. JSS, XMCloud, Experience Edge, and most interesting, they also put together this, I would say, repository, SC Human Upgrade, where everybody can share experiences on upgrading their human beings. It can be yours, yourself, or your team, or your company to the new stack. After that, we got a lightning session talk with Gert Gullentops. He's from Germany, if I'm not wrong, on talking to customers about the road to Composable. And guys, let me tell you this. The best slide and the best face expression in the world and in the Sitecore User Group Conference was given here by him. If you use any of this information or ideas that you learn in this session in your business and lose projects, entire customers, your job, or your goldfish, I'm not responsible. This is definitely the most honest statement that you will see around. And it was cool as well. You know, he was talking about psychological approaches that you can use and don't scare your customer. Avoid the word rebuild. And if you're wondering what you should use instead of rebuild, just avoid rebuild at all and talk about the opportunities that will arise as people move to the new stack, because there's always a lot of opportunities, things that you unlock as you go to the new composable stack and make them curious about that. But be honest at the same time. You know, this is salespeople speak. I will say, yes, you have to be skilled in that as well. Um, and Nikki Vadera also provided this great 15 minutes lightning session about using external components with the new Content Hub stack, Content Hub 4.2. It was a more technical session where he will tell you creating a custom button, creating a custom form control, and things like that. What you can do. And honestly, in my opinion, the best session was provided by my friend and band partner Sebastian Winter, speaking about Sitecore components in action, talking about how Sitecore created this feature of Sitecore, they call Sitecore components. It's part of the XMCloud, but at the same time, this is not like tied. I would say strongly tied to the XMCloud. You can, in other words, you can use components from Sitecore components into any website, into any page or CMS that you want, which I think it's amazing experience to have. You can create your. He also went through how to create the components, how it's designed in an architecture. You have data sources very close to what you have in XM, XP world. You can create your collections of responsive components and using static markup. It's gives you highly flexibility to make a lot of basically everything we used to do in the old stack with the new stack, but with the advantages that you can also use the same components everywhere, omni-channelly. And of course, I will not teach you everything in this call, but I think it was amazing to know that these things out there and soon as possible to play with that. And he spoke about what developers are still gonna do if everything is done by you without code. What should we still do? Yes, you still build the components with the interactions and the logic that you want for the business. You have to work with the developer experience improvements coming that the roadmap is providing us. There's a lot of tools coming for developers, style section, data source. You have to learn and decide how to implement and plug all that. All right, but I'm sure, and he was honest with this statement, he does prefer singing. I'm sure he does. But what can he do, right? Yes, and immediately after his speech, also another amazing opportunity to listen from the Sitecore user group in Germany. Their experience with relaunching the old website that they used to have now with Content Hub 1. That lightning CMS that we spoke about. So yeah, they explained all the process they went through on going through the analysis and the issues they saw, all the stack that they are plugging together, uh, and how they put together everything. It was quite amazing experience to see this as it becomes clear that the Content Hub one has its limitations, but it's also a great product. The closing keynote speaker was Scott Hanselman. He is a partner PM at Microsoft and also very skilled presenter, amazing person, very charismatic. And he was telling us about this concept of mentorship, sponsorships, system thinking, storytelling, how to improve yourself. It was amazing. I think it was a great opportunity to see how a very skilled person like him thinks about that, and it's also an exercise to keep you humble because he is very humble. And if you are, of course, if he is much better than you, I don't think you will disagree with that. You should also be humble. So a lot of good, I would say, advices like don't waste your keystrokes, and that boils down to instead of just typing, replying to an email and like spending your time, your keystrokes typing the response, and the person normally won't normally even reply to you after all the work you had. You just type a new article post in your blog and share the link to the person, because if the person doesn't give a damn to your answer, at least other people will also have. And the other thing is that I think it was amazing. Like, if you are looking for a person who is more famous than you and you want to pick their brain, never use this expression, pick your brain, because it can be sound offensive. Instead of doing that, what you should do is to invite that person to your to your podcast. He happens to have a podcast, and I think it was, of course, you don't have to start a podcast, but I think you got the idea, right? The kind and the energy will come back to you. I think that's the whole message from his speech. And that's all I got, guys. Looking forward for any questions you might have. Let me check the chat window. Please type your questions or raise your hand. I can unmute you if you have any questions. Information regarding forms. The team is currently working to make forms a standalone product. As far I know, they are pretty far on that, but I don't know the exactly roadmap. That is Dirk Schaffer speaking. Thanks, Dirk, for the info. But the integration to XMCloud is the key that it will be released as a standalone product. Adam Navmanovic promised me I will get the access to the repository to add all that accessibility stuff. Oh, that would be amazing, man. Yes, I will hate to have to implement all that. Oh, yeah, Gert is in Belgium. Yeah, I hope he's not gonna be mad with us because we all know Belgian beer is better than German beer, right, Dirk?